Here with Chicago Bliss head coach Keith Hack. We want to go, for the fan that doesn't know anything about the Chicago Bliss, can you give like a quick overview of what goes on with the league?
It's a 10-team league across the country. We play basically arena type rules, 7-on-7, 50-yard line field. It's full contact. I think the people would be amazed when they come in and see the actual action on the field. A lot of people think it's glorified powder puff. And I coached 7 years of arena football, and whenever former players of mine come to the games, they're amazed at the physicality of the game. These girls hit. They hit hard, and people are amazed of the quality of football that's played. You know, once you get past the uniform and you start to see what's really going on, you start to say, okay, this is real football.
Here with offensive coordinator Jim Brunner of the Chicago Bliss. Can you talk a little bit about the scheduling, how the players react to the scheduling like once a month, and kind of just an outline of how the schedule goes?
Well, the schedule is never it never comes down to really once a month. Last year we had a little bit of a run there where we had all of our games at the back end of the season. We had one up front and the back end. This year looks like we're going to have it kind of spread out, maybe one a month. Kind of works to your advantage if you can have it like that on some levels, because you have time for some of your players to recover. When we went through the playoffs last year, it seemed like because we were practicing and playing, it was like everybody was focused. It seemed like we kind of came together with the schedule being so tough. You know, when we have the delayed time off or the extended period off, like a month, it's kind of difficult to keep them motivated. You know, in my first year, we had a rough record. We were 1-3, and there was a sour taste in your mouth for like a month. You know, whereas when you're with the guys' ball, it's every week. You can redeem yourself in 6-7 days.
Right.
A couple practices, you're back at it.
What would be some of the differences besides the obvious men and women between coaching men and coaching these women?
The biggest difference, I think, is that a lot of the guys come to you already have played 4 years of high school, 4 years of college football, and maybe some of them have played in the NFL or arena, and they come with this notion that they know everything. And even if you're coaching them, they're like, oh yeah, okay, coach. Not with these girls. Most of them have never played football before, so it's so refreshing to be teaching them basically from the ground up. You can teach them your system, how you want it to be played, and to see it kind of mature in front of you is very satisfying. You come from a system where you play every week, and so you're built in your coaching system. Your thought process is the same way. But it was kind of hard to get used to. Well, we've kind of developed a routine of, after the game, we don't basically practice for a week. The girls are so beat up after the games, their bodies aren't conditioned to play every week like the guys. So they need that time to recuperate. So then we take that basically the next week off. Then the following week we start developing a game plan for the opponent. We start bringing them in, start walking through stuff, and we just start going into a regular routine. We have an interesting group. The LFL, the turnover rate on your roster is about 60 to 70% each year. We basically have our entire roster back from last year. We have some injuries that we're dealing with some of the returning girls, but for the most part, all of our A players are here. Allie Albert's probably the best two-way player in the league. If she's not the best, Heather Furr, the reigning MVP. They're both dynamic two-way players. It's both safeties. And they can control everything back there. They're like quarterbacks. Again, it's just that maturation of watching them develop as players. Chantel Taylor, a defensive lineman, unbelievable player. You have Christelle Harris, running back, all fantasy player, the best running back in the league. Dina Fagiano, offensive line. Nani Christine is another offensive lineman. So most of our team is returning, but we do have a nice blend of some interesting rookies that are going to be pushing some people out of the way.
Here with Heather Furr, quarterback and safety of the Chicago Bliss. She's the two-time MVP. She is QBing the returning champions. What made you decide to try out for the Bliss? Like, how did you hear about it, and how did you kind of get started?
Well, okay, so kind of a long story shortened, but I saw some of the Bliss girls their first season, and I wasn't on the team. I was running a golf outing, and I'm like, these girls, what are they thinking? This is totally not something I would ever do. Fast forward to the next season, my friend at a bar knew who was going to be becoming the offensive coordinator. And he was like, try and get some of your athletic friends to come out. She was begging me just to come and try out. And I was like, nah, it's not for me. I saw these girls. It's not something I do. Well, showed up a little bit late to tryouts, and they were doing anything you would see at a combine, like from vertical to 40-yard dash, everything. And so it was legit. It was real football, and ever since that day, I've just fallen in love.
Just hooked down.
Yeah. I mean, I've always loved football, but playing it is such a different experience.
Yeah. I'm here with Allison Alberts, who is the wide receiver and safety with the Chicago Bliss. And from what I've heard, should have won Rookie of the Year last year, but was kind of robbed, huh?
Thank you.
What made you decide to try out for Chicago Bliss? How did you find out about it?
I was doing nothing on a Friday night. I saw it on MTV2, and I was like, I'm better than those girls, so
Nice.
I went to try out.
Nice. Hey, I'm here with Emma Coons, who is trying out for the Chicago Bliss this season. She is offensive lineman hopeful right now. And any other positions that you're hoping to try to play?
I'd like to play defense too.
Yeah.
Anything where I can hit some people.
Nice.
Great.
How did you find out about the Bliss? Like, were you a fan before, or how did you find out about the tryouts?
You know, it's actually kind of interesting because I couldn't make the tryouts. So I was like, oh, you know, guess that's not for me. But then Coach John actually saw me when I was working, and he was like, hey, you're really tall. I think you should try out for this football team. And I was like, no shit. Like, I think I should too. So I just came out, and that's it.
Okay. Where did you go to college and win a national championship?
I went to Washington University in St. Louis.
Okay. Any other sports or anything that you played in high school or college growing up?
In college, I also did track. So I was a heptathlete in college, and then I also did basketball in high school.
So an extensive sports resume before.
Yes,
Chicago Bliss.
played virtually every sport we had.
I went to Plainfield High School, so not far from here where we're practicing. Then I went to Valpo, played basketball and ran track there in Indiana, and then transferred to Elmhurst College.
So you have an extensive sports resume before joining the Bliss.
Yeah, I'm an athlete.
Yeah.
I think most of the girls on the field can say that. I used to love watching Jerry Rice, Troy Aikman. I watched football nonstop with my dad. I was my dad's little tomboy, so I was next to him on the couch, and you know, we would just watch. He was always a huge Bears fan, so Bears overall was my #1 influence. Him, the Bears. I love Michael Vick. I know he gets hurt a lot, but he puts himself out there just like I feel like I do. Like every play, I'm gonna take a hit. I play offense and defense. I'm used to it. I love Kaepernick, Russell Wilson, obviously, now that he's the champ too. I'm number 15, Tim Tebow's my man. Even though he's not on the team.
Okay, favorite player, Isaac Bruce from the Rams.
Nice.
I'm from St. Louis area, so he was a big deal when I was growing up. When I was growing up, nobody went to the Rams games because he sucked for a while. So I grew up from 2nd grade on going to Rams games with my dad. So.
For a fan that's never been to a game, doesn't know the Chicago Bliss, why should they come out and see you guys?
I think really it is a fantastic way to entertain yourself. It is a real game. We play real football. It's full tackle, and we're beautiful girls, so why would you not want to come out?
Yes, it's entertainment. People see it as that as much as, or as little as we wear, I should say. So it's entertaining, but it's real women, athletes that know how to play the game. And many men, I don't know any that don't like football. So when they actually come out and see that we know football, it impresses them.
You know, just come on out and check out the games. You know, give these girls a chance. You know, the games are incredibly entertaining. The football is a lot better than you think it is. The games, I mean, it's just like a regular football game. The tailgating, the parties, it's like a big party in the stands. And when people come, they just love it. You know, it's just a matter of getting them to the games. You know, that's the thing. Just come on out and check it out, and you'd be amazed.
Can you touch on a little bit what winning the championship meant to the team last year?
Oh, well, I mean, I could give you the cliche line that it was just, you know, the greatest thing ever and all that, but just the fact that we beat LA, we can't stand them. We don't pretend to like them. And I'm the kind of person that you're going to know how I feel about you. And just to beat them and shove it in their ass, you know, all the shit they talk all the time, was just so nice. And then we knew we were going to kick Seattle's ass in the playoffs. They were so one-dimensional. And then to beat Philadelphia in the championship game was almost anticlimactic. We knew going into that we're the best team.
Well, it was amazing. We were in Vegas for 5 days. We had practices out there. We couldn't enjoy it fully until after we won. But we played a championship game against LA. They were the 3-time defending champs. Then we beat Seattle, who was 4-0. So they were the favorites to win that game. So we basically played 3 championship games to win it all. And then against Philly, yeah, they were the East Coast #1 team, but compared to the West Coast teams, the East Coast is not up to par with us. And you can see that the West has won all 4 championships.
I mean, really, winning any kind of championship is just a fantastic feeling, no matter what championship it is. And coming into a rookie season, it's not what I expected, and honestly, it couldn't have ended better.
We knew we were going to win the championship. It was just a matter of executing our offense and stop turning the ball over. And so now that we are the hunted versus the hunter, it's going to be interesting to see. You know, I've won. That was my 5th championship I won, and I've never repeated. And what I told the girls beginning of camp was, what derailed all those teams is complacency. Because the only team that's going to beat this team this year is this team. We're better than anybody else. We have better skilled players. We have better linemen. We have better coaches. We're just a better overall organization. And the only thing that's going to stop us is us.
I absolutely love that answer. You guys know you're the champs.
We are. I mean, and I don't care what anybody else says. They can all kiss my ass. We're going to win the whole thing again. I know we are. We're going to go undefeated and just storm through the league again. And you know, it is what it is.
Or what are some of the challenges with keeping them motivated for a month at a time, or when you don't see them as often?
Well, you know, attendance is a big key, and I think our veterans are a real big part of that. You know, it's not a big roster, so you really do have kind of a little bit tighter group of girls. I think some of them become friends off the field a lot too. Okay. And you know, it does take a total team effort. The players and the coaches need to really keep you motivated. But winning cures everything, right? Really, so.
I mean, it's hard. It's hard to stay focused, but knowing that you only get that 1 or 2 practices a week, you have to be focused with those 2. And then it takes a lot of dedication outside of practice to continue to push yourself. You know, lifting weights, power lifts, endurance, cardio stuff that everyone else sees this as, well, they're just playing football, and boys have been playing it since they were 6. Whereas if we get, you know, 4 new girls this year or 6 new girls, they're all girls that most likely have no football background. So we start from square one every year with new girls. Like, they might understand the game a little bit, but it's so much more intricate than they know.
I feel like the athletes are going to keep trickling in. We're going to probably see more girls coming out of right out of possibly college that are already ready and you know, maybe more dedicated. I can see it's gotten to that. And the first year was really about the looks of the league. The girls were beautiful. They were models. They were athletes too, but they weren't what you're seeing now, because now you have the athletic ability much better, and they're beautiful women.
Hey guys, it's Heather Furr from the Chicago Bliss. Make sure you follow Sports Mockery on Facebook or Twitter at Sports Mockery. Yes. And I am also on Twitter and Facebook at Heather Furr. I don't make myself hard to find.
Follow Sports Mockery on Twitter.
Hey everybody, like Sports Mockery on Facebook. Follow them on Twitter.
Check out sportsmockery.com for all Chicago sporting news.
Make sure you guys follow Sports Mockery on Facebook and give these guys an opportunity to show you what it's really like in Chicagoland.